The ribbon of St. George is an orange and black highly contested military symbol in Eastern Europe, with its multitude of meanings and extensive history. The St. George ribbon was initially introduced as part of the highest military award in Imperial Russia, the Order of St. George. It was often given to highly decorated individuals who completed impressive military tasks in the name of the Empire, and is one of the few military decorations awarded by the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union, and the current Russian Federation. Established by Catherine the Great in 1769, the ribbon has taken on a different meaning in the early 21st century, being employed as an awareness ribbon to celebrate veterans of the Second World War as well as a symbol of nationalistic pride and unity. After the fall of Tsarist Russia, the ribbons were banned until World War II, when they were reintroduced under a new name, the Order of Glory. It is believed the deep orange colour now associated with the ribbon also came from this period, as it was previously listed as being a black and gold ribbon. The current version of the ribbon, seen today, was introduced in 2005 at the 60th Victory Day Parade. With its newly reinstated Tsarist name and long-standing Soviet colours, the effort to blend the old and new of Russia was a prominent goal of the Russian Federation. This new step forward continued with an entire campaign dedicated to the maintenance of memory, which included marches where participants held photos of those who had fought. The remarketed ribbons were distributed to ordinary people to encourage a more active participation in the week-long events. The government feared that the younger generation were forgetting and neglecting the significance of World War II, and reintroduced the St. George ribbon as the symbol equivalent to the poppy on the Western Front. The Deputy General Director of Proma Lenta sums up the intentions of the ribbon campaign as this: after 1990, Russia lost part of its patriotism, and now there should be something that pulls people together. Let it be this ribbon. However, it is under the veil of pride, unity, and remembrance that Russia invaded Crimea and successfully annexed the Ukrainian peninsula in early 2014. Anti-Maidan protesters used the colours of the St. George ribbon to protest outside government buildings and show their unity with Russia. In many of the photos from the anti-Maidan protests and events throughout Russia and Crimea, the St. George ribbon played a prominent role in the iconography that people rallied behind. In recent years, the St. George ribbon's meaning adapted as it had done before. After the events in Crimea, Ukrainians started associating the ribbon of St. George with Russian aggression. Following the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the ribbon is now more commonly portrayed in a letter Z formation. This new adaptation symbolizes pro-war mentality and promotes the domination of Russia over Eastern Europe, as evidenced in the mildly successful social media campaign that launched the hashtag currently being displayed on the screen. Due to the propaganda perpetrated by the Russian government, Belarus, as with many post-Soviet countries, has come to see the St. George ribbon as representative of the great victory over Nazi Germany in the Second World War. In 2015, after the annexation of Crimea, the country's president pushed for a St. George ribbon alternative whilst stressing people are still free to wear whatever ribbon they wish. However, after Ukraine was invaded on the 24th of February 2022, several activists called for the banning of the symbol and took to social media to educate others about what is wrong with St. George. This education extended across several Eastern European and post-Soviet countries, including Latvia. Leading up to the invasion of Ukraine, pro-Russian sentiments were growing in support throughout the Baltic states, and in an effort to counteract this, the Latvian government joined Estonia and Ukraine in banning Russian symbols. Among these were several symbols connected to the Soviet regime and the St. George ribbon. In this way, the St. George ribbon has taken on yet another meaning, as the colours worn by pro-Russian supporters who are rebelling against their respective governments. One such incident occurred at Victory Day celebrations in 2022, when protesters wearing the ribbon were arrested for doing so. The St. George ribbon has represented many different things throughout its 250-year history, all culminating in the current controversy surrounding the once military medal. It started as a symbol of pride and valour awarded to soldiers, before being turned into one of unity and remembrance of those brave soldiers, representing aggression and dominance in Eastern Europe, and even more recently, a symbol of defiance and rebellion in the face of its banning. The most recent controversy surrounding the ribbon has led to its more widespread impact on social media and public celebration laws. It is this timeline of events that has made the St. George ribbon such a highly contested piece of history all throughout Eastern Europe.